Yo, what is up YouTube? JFamous here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a moving storm zone in Creative for like a Zone Wars type map. That seems to be pretty popular these days. Without custom games in Fortnite, people have resorted to playing more creative games. So this is the easiest way to make your own map, which I actually have one of my own in the works. There will be a video coming soon. What you'll need is a music sequencer, and the orientation that you place it, the way you look, depends on which way the storm will go. When I place it right here like this, the storm's going to go to the right, whichever way you're facing. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go into customize. You want to keep looping off. Tempo, BPM, means how fast the storm is going to go. So as a rule of thumb, anything under 60 you should be able to outrun. So I usually like to place mine around 30 or 40. So we'll do it at 50 just to show you. You'll want the length. This means how long across the map. So if you do normal, that's only one spot. If you do half, that is half the map. If you do 100, that is the whole creative server. Width will be the same. Normal is 1. So if you do half, or you can do the whole server. Height is the same way. Normal is 1, half, or the whole server. You want to keep the trigger type to trigger so it doesn't continuously go off. You want to have the zone visible in game. The trigger is always active. The direction is forward, so it's moving away from the sequencer. And damage on. Elimination. So you can do it where it ticks once, but it's not a constant storm. So if you do very low, they will only take damage when the storm hits them once, and then it will not happen again. So far, the only way to do this accurately would be do elimination, as if it was an end storm, like the ending game storm. So you want to click accept, and then whenever you move onto the sequencer, it's hard to see, but a storm activates. You want to put a wall right here in front of the sequencer, the way the storm is going. Behind it, you're going to want to put an ATK, and then you want to throw a pinball flipper to the back side of it, to where whenever the game spawns, this pinball flipper will spawn at the same time as the ATK, throwing it forward, activating the storm. So the ATK was one of two ways to make a moving storm when you start a creative match. Here's the second way that is known so far. What you want to do is you want to put a ramp over the music sequencer, place just like this, and then you want to go up on here and place a shopping cart, just like this, where it'll roll backwards. And then also you're going to want to put a wall and then a trap. When the game spawns, the shopping cart activates it and then falls off, so it doesn't continuously activate the storm. And then every time it activates, it will fall all the way off. And also when you do that, you want to make sure that the shopping cart doesn't get destroyed, so it might be better to put a wall where it runs in like that, because if it gets destroyed, it will just keep respawning, which then will activate the storm once again. You can also use storms to activate another storm. So say if you wanted a circle to close in from all sides, you could have it to where when one storm goes off and touches another, it sets off another, which sets off another. That is one way to make an end game to where you could actually make this in a circle pattern, to where the storms all move in at the same time down to one last spot. So say you wanted to make an end game to where the circle is pretty realistic and comes to one set spot for the end game. So you would use one storm to another storm, and they would continue to go around until it came to one specific spot, and then you would use a damage volume to create a damage barrier to whenever somebody stepped in here. Say every 2 seconds it would tick 20, or every 1 second it would tick 10, and that would be like the end game storm in a normal public match, where shield damage would be off because the storm does not do shield damage. That would make it to where everybody had to come down to one specific spot to end the match, if it was like a realistic public game. That's one way that storms could interact to make a realistic storm in creative for like a zone war map, or anything in creative that you would want the zone to be in, because currently Fortnite has not put in a zone option like the public matches or like the limited time mode matches. So here's a Zone Wars map that I created myself, which is not released yet. I'm still trying to make it more of a realistic storm with a realistic end game. But here's an idea like you can make. You can use a creative map and make it to where a storm rushes in, and you and a set number of people start to fight for the end game. You can even set it up to where multiple storms, as you can see too, come in, where you can make them hit for a lower damage. So say the first storm hits for 10, the next one hits for 20, or the first one hits for 10, the next one hits for 10, but there's 5 storms, meaning that if somebody gets caught out in storm, they don't instantly die, but they take damage each storm that hits them. And here's a few clips from playing this match of what these zone wars tend to look like. They're pretty fast-paced. It's a lot more fun than just a public match currently. Without customs back in the game, everybody's trying to fight for reasons to still play Fortnite without trying to sweat the whole time. But when they do sweat, this is more of a like a skill building game type rather than getting upset if you lose. Everybody can work together. It's actually pretty fun. It's kind of toxic at times, you know, knocking people down or people getting killed in storm. But it's a pretty fun game type, and it seems to be on the rise. So yeah, this is a map I've been working on. When it is released, I will make a video on how I made this map, and how also you can get the code, which will be open to everybody that watches the video. I will post the code in the video and in the description. And I'm hopeful that this map will kind of take off, as in there's not that many Zone Wars maps currently out there playable right now. And I want to make the most realistic storm possible for the most realistic in-game possible. So any feedback from this video, if you see anything you would like added to this map or any of these Zone Wars, please let me know in the comments below, because I would like to take your feedback and put it to use in these kind of maps. Well, that wraps up this video, guys. I'm going to finish my creative map and publish that for the next video, hopefully. And at the end of every video, I've noticed every other Fortnite streamer does this, so let's plug our supporter creator. So if you'd like to support me, JFamous-TTV in the item shop, I would appreciate it a lot. Also, if you tweet me at JFamous_ on Twitter, I will retweet all of the people that use my code. So much love, everybody, and thank you for watching this video.